Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Buford Awards. Time to give out some more awards. Gonna start off with the comeback of the year in professional wrestling in 2008, and there weren't as many comebacks as there were in 2007, and if there were, not a lot of them were successful. However, the following three that are nominated for the comeback of the year all deserve to be in this category. However, only one can win the award. The nominees are IWA Mid-South. From being on the brink of extinction at the end of 2007, Ian Ronan and the boys and girls of IWA Mid-South managed to bring in one of the most successful years in IWA Mid-South history, starting with their legendary 500th show, going all the way. IWA Mid-South has proven to be once again a dominant force in independent wrestling. Kaiji Muto, the man who everybody remembers as the Great Muta, made one of the most unbelievable runs in 2008, winning both the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the All Japan Triple Crown title as two separate people. And finally, Jerry Lynn, the new effing show of professional wrestling, after winning the Super 8 in 2007, decided to call one more ride in professional wrestling in 2008, making a return to Ring of Honor and even challenging for the Ring of Honor World title against Nigel McGuinness. Jerry Lynn still proves that at 45 years old, he's got the moves as if he were 35. And the Buford for the comeback of the year goes to Kaiji Muto, who, he was almost a name forgotten in Japan, and in 1 year brought himself back, winning two of the biggest titles in Japan. Alright, our next award is the Breakout Star of the Year. That's pretty self-explanatory there. There are a lot of people that broke out in 2008, but only one really made their mark in professional wrestling, coming from an unknown to a superstar. And the Buford for the Breakout Star of the Year in 2008 goes to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, a young Canadian wrestler, made an early mark in 2008 by shocking the wrestling world when he defeated Low Ki to become the Jersey All-Pro Heavyweight Champion. Kenny Omega has defended that title and has become one of the more popular wrestlers in Jersey All-Pro. With his long run as Jersey All-Pro Heavyweight Champion, he's earned many opportunities, including appearing in the 2008 Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Battle of Los Angeles tournament and appearing on several Ring of Honor shows not only in his home country of Canada, but also here in the United States. The sky is definitely bright for Kenny Omega, and the future has nothing but success running all over this young Canadian. Kenny Omega, the winner of the Buford for the Breakout Star of the Year. Alright, now coming up next here, the worst match of the year. The worst match of 2008. And this was another tough one. This was another tough one. You know, I could have gone the cheap way and said any match in TNA, but then I would have gotten a lot of messages, practically saying, why are you doing this to TNA? TNA is not that bad, blah, 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 yakety yak. Don't talk back. However, there is one match to me that was the worst match of 2008, and it happened on one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. The Buford for the worst match of the year goes to Mark Henry versus Matt Hardy from SummerSlam 2008. I know you're wondering, why does this match get the award for the worst match of the year? Well, one, it was for the ECW title, which means it should have been an important match. Two, it only lasted 45 seconds. 3, Tony Atlas got involved in the match and the referee was forced to stop it. It's not because of Mark Henry or Matt Hardy. It's just because of how long of a time they gave those two men. So Mark Henry and Matt Hardy win the award for the worst match of 2008. Coming up now, the worst wrestling moment of 2008. Now, unlike last year where there was a buttload of terrible moments in 2008, there really weren't that many, or in 2007, there weren't really that many here in 2008. However, there was one particular moment that stands out and is a cheap shot in my opinion, and this gets the award for the worst wrestling moment of the year. And the winner of the worst wrestling moment of 2008 goes to TNA Wrestling for showing a WWE wrestler at their event during a live televised episode of Impact. It was WrestleMania weekend and WWE was in Orlando, Florida. And as usual, you know, certain wrestlers like to go to other promotions just to hang out with friends and stuff. But TNA, thinking with their brains, decided to show one of the WWE's wrestlers in attendance during their show. It ended up being one of the Highlanders. And the Highlander did not know that TNA had done this. Because of that action, he was sent home the rest of WrestleMania weekend, and within 6 months was released from WWE. You might say it was the wrestler's fault because he was not aware that this show was being aired live. But to me, this goes to TNA because they did not think about themselves. They thought about hurting their competition. And what a better way to hurt your competition than by showing one of the Highlanders on your TV show. So TNA wins the award for the worst wrestling moment of 2008. One more award here in this segment. The best wrestling moment of the year. And ladies and gentlemen, there were some good moments, but it comes down to only 3. The nominees for the best wrestling moment of the year are John Cena's shocking return at the 2008 Royal Rumble, Larry Sweeney and One Man Gang in their infamous strut-off at King of Trios 2008, and Ric Flair's retirement ceremony the night after WrestleMania. And the Buford for the best wrestling moment of the year is Ric Flair's retirement celebration the night after WrestleMania. After an emotional match with Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair came out to a standing ovation in Orlando, Florida the night after WrestleMania to make a final speech. What he didn't know, and what the wrestling fans did not know, was that we were in for the most amazing moment, maybe in the history of professional wrestling, as the WWE gave thanks their way to Ric Flair by honoring him throughout his entire career by bringing back some of his friends, some of his allies, and some of the people that he helped along the way become superstars of professional wrestling. This celebration went well over 30 minutes on TV and after it went off the air. And it made you feel that once again that wrestling was something great to watch because of moments like this. How can we ever forget the night after WrestleMania, Ric Flair's retirement celebration? Gonna take a break, and I'll be right back.